Hello everyone, welcome back to another Jeeps or ASMR. Now today we're going to switch it up a little. Instead of the typical, front facing camera showing my weird skinny body and everything, we're just going to show you guys a little collection today. Now, I have done one video on my silver collection before, but it was with my old mic, not my Blue Yeti mic. My Blue Yeti. So, really not great quality. I think I'm also featuring a couple different pieces in this video than I did in said video. Now, most of my silver and precious metal portfolio and collection is tucked away, obviously. Not somewhere where anyone could just come over and rob me. But I have pulled out some tantalizing coins for you guys to look at today. Now, silver collecting for me was mainly just an investment. I was weary of the dollar, and inflation keeps going higher, so I keep buying more silver and gold. But why I pick silver is because I'm also a collector. So, in case you don't know, the price of gold is hundreds of times more valuable than silver. So, for example, this little guy here, the first thing I actually ever purchased, and for an ASMR, or for precious metals, was this Istanbul Gold Refinery gram of gold here. Now, as you can see, it is in a little certificate because it's gold and no one's ever going to believe that your gold's real. So, here's the first step. It's 999.9 fine gold, which just like every silver or gold or rhodium or platinum purchase, they only do 0.999s because that's all they can do. It's physically impossible to get all of the elements of copper or any other metal out of the metal. So 999 is the closest you can get to 100% pure metal. As I was saying, because I'm a collector, I go with silver because this little gram here is $50 when I bought it, and still kind of is. Gold hasn't really fluctuated too much. $50 for that. That's a gram. This here is an ounce of silver. Full ounce round. This is going for around $30. So a gram, an ounce, and the gram is worth almost double the ounce. That's just crazy. So because I like to actually have items, and I don't want to just go broke trying to have gold as the same amount as gold and silver, I prefer silver because I can actually touch it, feel it, look at it, play with it, whatnot. Also, the sound of silver is just unmatched. Here, that's not really a good example. It's just so clingy, it's so shiny, it's so enjoyable. There's a reason that the queens and kings used to have silver bells on their carriages, because it's such a crisp, distinct sound that you really have to hear it to know what it is. No other metal makes it. So, when I started collecting, I only had this little gram, and I went out and I bought these right here. 5 1-ounce Lady Liberty Eagle, Silver Eagle troy ounces. These were only $18 a pop back then. $18. Now they're for around $30, so they've definitely jumped up in value, and I wish I would have bought all my silver at this price. However, almost the entirety of my silver here on display was purchased around the 25 kind of pricing, 2025. So pretty much what it is now. So I went out and got those. I had that, and then I inherited my grandpa Kenny's gold ring, and this really set me off for collecting. Because when I found out the value of this, I was like, yeah, I'm sold. I want more precious metals. And to see that it went up since he bought it. He bought it years and years ago for a wedding. The wedding didn't really work out, so he gave me the ring. And it is 90% gold. I got it tested at a precious metals, and it's literally almost all gold. So I didn't believe him at first. I was like, there's no way you're giving me just a pure gold ring. He was like, I don't care. So that was great. And then, as if that wasn't good enough, I inherited pretty much all of these, minus a few. This guy right here, this Christopher Columbus, and a bunch more dimes and whatnot that's, tucked away. All from my great-grandpa. He just had a whole collection. When he passed it down to my grandpa, and then my grandpa saw how much I was a collector and was like, here you go. So that just set it off, and then I went out and purchased the remainder of these items here. So real quick, we'll just finish up the gold, since I already explained those two items. This here is 1/10 of an ounce. A tenth of an ounce of gold. Gonna run you around 250, 260 in today's market. So it's crazy to think. Remember that value, 250 for that little guy. You want to know what the equal parts is? It's slightly more, but pretty much the same price. This here, 10-ounce silver bar from Sunshine Minting. This goes for around $275, $300 right now. It fluctuates a little, but it's 10 full ounces of silver. 10 ounces. This is 1/10 of an ounce. Just look at that. That's around the same value. Gold, silver. It's just crazy. If you guys already know the prices, then I'm sure you're just like, okay. I'm sure lots of you already know the prices of silver and gold, and I'm sorry that I'm kind of just repeating info you already know, but for those of you that don't know, now you do. So this bar right here I got because I just wanted a big amount of silver. I just wanted to see what it feels like to hold 10 ounces of silver. I have a 1-ounce silver bar right here, and I got this a while ago. Now, I am touching it with my bare skin. You're supposed to wear gloves. You're not supposed to touch silver because it's it oxidizes very easily. But that's just an aesthetic thing. If you're not worried about that, it doesn't ruin the price of the metal at all. Oh, listen to that ding. Oh, beautiful. And look, I've touched this a bunch and it just has smudges, no yellow oxidization yet, so that's cool. But I bought this silver bar and I was like, wow, this feels so cool to hold. I love this. What does 10 ounces feel like? So we went out and got it. Now, most of my precious metals are around 1 ounce or under, because you gotta think about it. One of the reasons I'm buying precious metals is in case the stuff hits the fan and the dollar keeps losing its value, like it is. If inflation just keeps flying up and the dollar's worth nothing, we're going to have to fall back to, alternative currencies such as crypto, bitcoins and Dogecoins and Ethereum and such, but also precious metals and valuables. So if we're bartering for, say, a loaf of bread, this alone is already 25, 30 bucks. That's already way more than I need for a loaf of bread. Imagine when stuff hits the fan and this is worth 10 times more. It's gonna be $100, $200, maybe more. I'm not trying to barter my way into a loaf of bread with this and hope I can get fair value in exchange back. So that's why I do have a lot of dimes, a lot of little silver quarters and dimes. And that's why I stay away from things like this. Because this is going to be thousands of dollars if that ever happens. And the last thing I want to worry about is trying to get my $1,500 back after I spent $200 on groceries somewhere or bartered my way, you know. It's just going to be way simpler to have smaller denominators. Now, I'm going to let you guys hear a wonderful little cling right now, because I'm actually going to take one of my buffalo nickel ounces out and have them touch each other. Now these are my two newest accusations. These little buffalo silver dollars. I just saw them and I had to grab them. I think they're only like 31 bucks a pop. It is such a thick, dense, precious metal. I love it. Just everything about it just feels real. The shine, the weight, the texture, the cling. Oh, listen to that. Silver stacking. Silver stacking is just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Okay, we're gonna put those down. So after I inherited these old coins, purchased some gold in my silver rounds, that's when I went to these silver rounds and these, my Canadian maple leaves. Now this is my favorite round or coin, or I guess my favorite possession for its value, because these are slightly more than the typical ounce rounds, because these maintain a monetary value as well of $5. So if the silver market dies and silver's not worth anything, we find a huge production of silver, or we just stop needing it, this will still hold $5. Also, if you're giving it to a pawn shop and whatnot, most silver has to go through a background process to make sure it's not stolen or, you know, fake or whatnot. But with these, they just go right through. So if you ever need to sell silver quick, these are the guys to have actual monetary value coins. Sorry, I'm just looking at my buffalo nickel again, because I've never had it out of its case. Even the smell. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to keep those there. So, with old coins, you may not know, you may know, any quarter, dime, $50, dollar, any coin that's this kind of color, nickel, silverish, made before 64 is actually, or 64 and before, it's actually 90% silver. So these are all 90% silver. So not as much silver as the ounce rounds do, but pretty much the same thing. This is a Walking Liberty $50. And basically at 1965, the government realized silver is way more valuable than just to be thrown into coins. Silver was about $1.38 in like 1964 an ounce, and they were selling it, or they were, using these as dollar holders. So what happens when something's worth more than it's being used for? People stock up on it, people save it, people hoard it. And so everyone was just hoarding these silver dollars. And the government was like, okay, well, it's supposed to be in circulation. It's money. What are we going to do? Plus, they were running out of silver. That's why the silver price was going up so much, was because we were running out of silver mines. So that's when they did the Coinage Act of 1965, which basically made all these coins only 40% silver, and the rest was like nickel, copper, cheaper metals. But then in 1970, they decided to completely just remake the coin, and now it's no silver at all. So you got these coins like these, 1964 Kennedy half dollars, that were the last coins to be 90% silver. And you can take one of these and you can take a 1965, which would only have 40% silver, and you can hear the difference. It's pretty crazy. So you can actually go through banks, and this is how I acquired these two, and get half dollar, quarter, dimes, dollar, anything like that. You can get rolls of coins and look through them and try to find the dates that have silver still in them, and you can make money that way. And that's what I did with these, and found these two. There's actually on TikTok that does it live, I think. So another great thing about collecting old vintage silver rounds, such as these, well, not rounds, dollars, is that, look at that date, 1884 this was made. 1884, 1880, 1934. These hold more value in the collection of them than they do in the silver, the amount of silver in them. So it's crazy because these are like $50, but they're only like $15, $20 in silver. And that drives the value up, because now not only is this a collectible for silver hoarders, but it's a collectible for old vintage coin collectors, which there's probably more of. So old silver dollars is pretty much the best way to collect silver if you can, because it has multiple reasons to maintain its value. And if you're an investor like me, that's all you want. Things that will hold its value. So, real quick, we're just gonna jingle some coins around so you can keep hearing the beautiful sounds. Ooh, yes. Also, if you've made it this far, comment below if you're interested in precious metals, or if you'd be interested in starting collecting them, because I do believe it's a very smart use of any of your spare money. Because I don't think coins are going to lose their value anytime soon, especially as our money loses its value. I know silver hasn't skyrocketed, but it always can. Here we have these little protector cases. Now, when I inherited these, they came like this, so I just kept them like this. But it's just a good way to protect the coin, especially these old vintage ones that the higher the value, the better the condition, the higher the value. So, like, that's not bad. Now here is my oldest coin, and one of my most valuable coin. This is an 1811. I think it's a half dollar. But look at that make. Look at how this is made. Look how thin that side is. It's crazy. This is what they were using back in the gold western days, and right out of the after the Civil War and whatnot. Just crazy to think how far this coin's made. I mean, look at that eagle. I don't know if you can see it, but look how messed up that eagle looks. It's just so cool to think that's been around for over 210 years. Wow. Okay. Now, I think I'm just gonna stack some silver a little bit. Show you a few coins here and there, such as my Victoria Brit dollar from 1889. Now you can see this one's a little more damaged, so this wouldn't sell as much compared to its typical price as something like this in this condition would, but it still fetches a higher price because it's more rare than the Morgan silver dollar. I just love that soldier on the horse. That's so cool. As you can see, I also have the 10-ounce bar of Sunshine Minting, and I have the 1-ounce bar. They make a 5-ounce bar and a 100-ounce bar. A 5-ounce bar and a 100-ounce bar is all I need left to complete my collection. Of course, 100 ounces of silver is around $3,000, so don't think I'm gonna make that purchase anytime soon, especially because I don't like buying big amounts of precious metals, as mentioned earlier. It's harder to break down. So, I hope you guys like the collection. Thanks for watching, and I'm just gonna mess around with my coins for a couple minutes before ending this for you guys. So sit back, relax, and watch me stack. Thanks for tuning in, and have a wonderful day. See you guys next video.